Glad to have you with. Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us this morning. We're here to talk about Model United Nations. It's one of our district's premier youth programs. And during our two-day conference, we basically simulate a General Assembly session of the real United Nations for high school students. So basically what these high school students do is they become ambassadors to a foreign country. They have to eschew their ethnicity, their background, and they have to become Pakistan, Israel, China, Australia, and basically research and take those countries' positions on two current day global crises that we select as an organizing committee. And then we actually draft resolutions that are real life, General Assembly, United Nations resolutions with citations, and they have, the posing of the problem in prefatory paragraphs, and then the solution set in the operative paragraphs. And these students have to negotiate all weekend long with all their peers to try to meld all their divergent views and positions on these two global crises. So what the conference and the program really does is it helps students have a whole new worldview of global issues. And they have to basically research the background, economics, and social and political environments of their countries. They then have to kind of figure out what their country's positions have been, or based on their research would be on the two current global crises that we present to them. They then have to call all their research together and then pack that into like a 2-minute speech that they then have to practice and then deliver at our conference in front of the entire General Assembly of all the countries there. And then they have to spend in the afternoon and the following day, they get into caucus groups and they have to try to meld all their differences together. So really what this program is it really not only helps the students learn how to research and write and publicly speak, but more importantly, how to become peacemakers, how to meld all those differences and divergent views together to some sort of common ground, some sort of consensus. So unlike many other Model United Nations programs in high schools and or in colleges, ours is pretty much a non-competitive program. We focus on giving the kids the negotiating skills of how to trust each other, how to listen to each other, how to find that common ground and that consensus or so they really can truly be new peacemakers and hopefully future Rotarians in society. Our conference basically is a 2-day conference, usually in March. We have a training session in January where we help give them these negotiating skills and give them a simulating negotiating exercise. We also teach them how to do an analysis of our various resolutions. And then they spend another couple months with an advisor that's either a Rotarian, a teacher, or another trusted adult, and helps them guide them through their research and their drafting of their position statement, their speech, as well as practicing that in front of various different audiences so that they feel comfortable, when they finally come to our conference and such. It's been an amazing program. We're in our 21st year, and we've had many alumni go off into college where they were going to do, bioengineering or some other sort of major. And because of Model UN, they've come back and told us, no, we wanted to do international relations or government relations. And some of our alumni have actually gone on to work with the Peace Corps and other humanitarian projects in Israel and South America and everything. So it's a wonderful program that really builds in a whole different types of skill sets and such. And I'd like to turn it over now to Pauline, who maybe kind of can tell you some logistics on how can Rotary clubs get involved? How can you sponsor a team and what have you? Pauline?
Thank you so much, Kevin. Before I do that, Eric and Luann, since you're the guests here, Eric, I understand you're with Santee Lakeside Rotary Club.
Yes.
Can I just get to know a little bit about both of you? And Luann, you're with Coronado. Do you know Eric Nelson and Ron Vernetti?
I do. I know both of them. I was the president of our club in 22, 23, and now
excellent.
I'm the assistant governor for the Rotaract clubs.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic. Uh, so just give you an example. Last year, we had 23 different high schools, all sponsored by Rotary clubs from all over San Diego. And they sponsored 84 students. So we had the way this logistics or the way Model UN works is students work in teams, pairs, teams of 2 students per country. So they represent a country. And Kevin mentioned the training session in January and the conference in March. So students come in January to randomly select a country. So we are currently we have a timeline. We're working on the 2 resolutions. It's an updated, it's usually a current issue. Last year, for example, well, in previous years, we've worked on the pandemic, we've worked on climate change, the COP26, how do you improve on it? How does aviation, how does affect climate change? We had terrorism. There was one year we worked on space. How do you regulate space? This year, we are trying to focus on youth. How do crises around the world affect our youth? You've got water crises, famine, health issues. Of course, war is a big thing. But we're trying to maybe we thought we would do a Gaza resolution, but that might be too close to some kids. So we're not going to touch that at this point, but we'll do a youth-related resolution. And then one of our committee members, Isaac, is a fantastic, I'll tell you a little more about him, but he came out with digital rights for children. So these are the 2, and you're the first to know outside our committee what we're working on for the issues that the kids are going to negotiate this year. So youth-related on how crises around the world affect our youth, and then how do we regulate or do something about children's digital rights. So Kevin mentioned some of the Model UN students going off to do great things. Isaac is a fantastic example. He's a Rotarian with our district, and he's the president of his Rotary Club, or he was last year, right, Diane? He's an attorney. He's serving in Vista. He's a district attorney. But about, 15, 18 years ago, he was a high school student in San Diego, and he participated in Model UN. And he's a I think from what we've heard about students who participate in Model UN, they learn debate skills, they learn presentation skills, they learn to do research, focus on the issues, and then come present it, and then negotiate it with their other peers. So he's amazing. So he's a great addition to our team, and we hope that he's going to chair it for many years going forward. But I wanted to ask specifically Eric and Luann. We've got Coronado High School, who you guys have sponsored for many, many years. Ron has been an amazing champion.
Right.
And this year you've got 1 team you've registered. And so, Eric, is there a high school or high schools that y'all are thinking of?
Actually, yes, we are we're working with Santee High School. We've been reaching out to El Cap, which is the other the Lakeside High School. We haven't nailed it down as yet, but we should be able to field a team from Santee. So
Excellent.
Yeah, it's been interesting, and just getting, Karen has been really the dynamo. She's run into to some of the school officials that are on board with it.
And please reach out to Kevin and me about how we can focus on, because we have released the sign up, and we'd like you to just book 1 or 2 or 3 spaces for your teams. So because of space constraints, so we are holding, for the last 3-4 years, we've held it at the Del Mar City Hall, because the Rotary Club of Del Mar is very influential in Del Mar, thankfully. So they can secure this amazing location for no cost to us. That's how we've managed to lower the fees for Rotary clubs. Previously, we had at the best location, the Institute of Peace and Justice at USD. It's truly amazing, but it also costs a lot of money. And anyway, they've kicked us out. So we tried to look at other universities, but Del Mar came with this. And this year, very exciting, is the training session will be held at the EIS, the Elementary Institute of Science, which is an amazing facility, which I never heard of until now. It's in San Diego on the border of National City, I believe. But it's been around since the 70s. It's a beautiful modern facility. They have a lot of funding support. I think Diane might be able to speak more about it, but we had a tour. We're going to host a training session there.
Oh, cool.
Do you all know about it? Eric, you know about it?
No, actually, that's news to me as well.
You're going to love it. Lots of parking by the library next door and this facility. And so this would be Saturday morning, January the 25th. And next year, the conference will be the weekend of March 22nd, 23rd. And I would love to get both your emails so that I can put you on the list. I think, Eric, are you on our band website?
Yes, I'm on your
Okay.
band.
So you get the updates. Luann, do you mind
Yeah,
sending me
I'll
your
put it
email?
in the Chat.
Yes. And I will send you the link. So Band is an app for communications, and this came up about 4 or 5 years ago when we used to send out a lot of emails all the time, and then Rotarians would complain they can't find the emails when they need it. So somebody, a Rotarian at Golden Triangle Rotary Club, set us up on Band, and it's like a Facebook, but it's private and it's only for Rotarians and advisor teachers who are interested in or who have participated in Model UN, and you get updates. So it's literally like a Facebook thing where you get updates when something is posted, but it is not a spam thing like Facebook. So we post whenever there's a need.
Right.
Kevin, did you want to?
Yeah, one important thing is that we really try to get a good cross section of high school students. It can be anywhere from freshmen, sophomore, juniors, or seniors, but we like to have students from the South Bay, the eastern part, the northern part of San Diego. In years past, we've had students from Orange County and Palm Springs. And then in the true typical United Nations fashion, we always try to also get international students. So we always usually have, thanks to Fernanda Torres, some students from Mexico. And this year, we're very hopeful in garnering some teams from Costa Rica and Honduras,
Oh, cool.
and perhaps also from Canada. And at least in years past, when we've had these international students, it's just an amazing amalgam of energy and cooperation and insights that both the local students get as well as the international students, because it's completely different backgrounds, completely different perspectives on various global issues. And they end up basically becoming friends and staying in contact with each other for years on afterwards. So it's really a great part about our program is that it's not just solely relegated to San Diego students.
Awesome.
Sorry, I've been on chat with Luann. The email that you sent has ... on it, and I'm not sure if it's correct.
Let me look at it real quick.
Maybe can you reply to Diane and Diane can forward it to us?
You know what? I just put, let's see, email's not coming through.
If you look at chat, it shows up.
Yeah.
Well, I just put Rotary Club, and then it's just ljs49@msn.com.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see the ... Okay,
Yeah.
so it's literally LJS49 at MSN. Okay.
msn.com.
Okay, that's easy. Got it. Thank you. Yeah. So, did y'all have specific questions? We have general information that we can email to both of you, just as a brochure. But can we help with any specific questions?
I was just curious, is it just for high school? Is it just one team, or can you do multiple teams?
Up to 4 teams, yes.
Okay.
So for example, high schools like Academy of Our Lady of Peace, they could have fielded all 10, 20 teams. Okay, so our cap is 40 teams, well, 45 teams, 90 students because of the venue capacity. And it's also students being able to participate, and it's a timing capacity. So in my emails to everybody, I mentioned 40. Last year we had 42. The venue can take up to 45. Kevin is working on international teams from Honduras and Costa Rica, and usually we get teams from Mexico as well. So these are high schools from students who can get in and participate. And in past years, Kevin had teams from Canada, which is fantastic. It really adds a United Nations flair to it.
And Dominican Republic as well.
Are we going to have translators like the official UN so that they...
Right? Yeah, no, in this case, they have to translate themselves. So just to follow up a little bit more about the teams, yes.
They're they're very actually fluent in English. So all the international students are very fluent in English.
Yeah. So teams of 2 students each, because and the Rotary clubs pay $500 to sponsor 2 students and their teacher, and this pays for the training session, all the materials, the food, beverages, what the costs incurred to host these 3 individuals, right? 2 students and a teacher. And in the conference venue itself, we make sure we feed them well. We've got breakfast, meals in between, snacks, and then all the stationery that they'll need. We have folders. And this year, with Diane's order on trying to be a little more environmentally conscious, we've tried to be, but we've not been as good. We're going to try to limit too much paper, but every student will get a folder and handout so that they can refer to it. But we'll sort it out a little bit better. And we try to get the beverages from supporting organizations like Timmy's Place. It's a homeless youth training program. It started by the Urban Street Angels, I believe.
Right.
For example, we cater from them. And I believe our district caters from them. So we try to make it a win-win all around so that the money goes to organizations that Rotary supports as well. What else do we need? And then
Pauline,
yes.
I have a question for you. As the clubs are talking to the schools, what types of students best fit this program? Are they looking for speech students, students that are interested in government, international studies,
Yes.
what?
Yes. So all the yes to what you just said, students are interested in being attorneys and all. But last year we had pre-med students, literally
Oh.
pre-med. We had engineering students. It's students who are interested in developing their own life skills, presentation skills. Every career will need it. But you're right. In general, students who are interested in law, interested in politics, they want to get in and volunteer with their local political figures. In international relations, for sure. So we had a retired ambassador who was a Rotarian. I don't know if many of you know Barbara Kirkpatrick. She was serving in the Reagan administration. She's a Rotarian with the Golden Triangle. She might have moved back to Finland. She encouraged us to also educate students about the Foreign Service. So I got interested in it because I was researching it. So you want students who are aware of international issues which will affect us locally. So it's just a chance to broaden their minds, but don't limit your students to just those who are interested in politics or law. Tell them it's life skills. It gives them a chance to present, gives them a chance to negotiate with their peers, and then debate skills for sure. Kids who are interested in debate, this has been a great source. But we also want to open it to your interactors, give them this opportunity to say it's a free program by Rotary. Rotary is a lot of youth programs, and this is one of them.
But please don't limit yourself. If you believe that you have some students that are very, very shy, let's say timid, have not really pronounced themselves out as being leaders, but you think they've got some capabilities that with some training and or some encouragement really could be future stars. We've had those type of people where they are the shyest people in the world. And after working with us and working with their advisor, man, they stand tall at the conference. And we had actually one that was actually from Canyon Crest Academy that was not only confident during the conference, but then she became our Interact president the following year. And she became involved in drama at her school. And she continued on exponentially throughout her collegiate career. So please just don't always limit it to kind of the high achievers, in high school. If you believe other people have that kind of potential, let's help us help them become those sort of future leaders as well.
Yeah, and Cal Coast Academy, I love to bring that up because isn't it a special educational school? And the kids who participate, like Kevin said, they have a chance to bloom and tap into things that they didn't think they had. Because so we don't identify the kids by the school; they're identified by the country they selected. So we want the diversity. So I think 20 years ago, when Marty Rosenstein brought Model UN to our district, I think he took an example from Canada. I think around the world, Canada had Model UN. Australia, I think Australia has a district that has Model UN, and us, and that's it, I think, when I Google it. And right now we are the only, I think, continuous Model UN program for high school kids, sponsored by Rotary. His goal was to open this up to kids from diverse schools and especially low resource schools, because Model UN is a global thing. We're not unique. Other outside Rotary, it's happening all the time, I think, from other organizations. But I think as Rotarians, as Kevin pointed out, this is not a competitive Model UN. It's a different type of Model UN where we focus more on peace building, conflict resolution, collaboration. Yeah.
So we also have, in the past, we've had students from other disadvantaged schools, like the Monarch School, homeless. We have routinely for many, many years had students from the Preuss School over by UCSD, which is also disadvantaged students, and other schools like, say, Cal Coast Academy, Gompers, and what have you. But let me just give you a little vignette as well as what the kids have the potential of doing. So we had one team that was represented in Ireland, and I think we were debating that year space security. How can you put up so many satellites and still not have problems up in space? And so they were representing Ireland. They did some research and everything, but they actually found that the Irish ambassador to the UN had given a speech on this very same topic. And so somehow they were able to figure out his email address. They wrote to the ambassador and said, hey, we're part of the Model UN team, blah, 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 blah. Could you basically have a chance to talk to us and give us some more feedback on what Ireland's position really is? And all of a sudden that started a weeks-long dialogue via email between the Irish ambassador and our students. And great. What a resource of getting what the country's position is than the guy who's actually pronouncing it before the real United Nations. So that's the sort of ingenuity that we love to hear and see from our Model UN students.
Perfect example. Model UN is an opportunity for the kids who want to be creative to do things like that. And it depends on the advisor too, because many students are not taking advantage of this. They should use this as a vehicle to get something, to connect with somebody. Yeah.
And talking about that connection, it's a great way for Rotarians to become more involved with youth. Many of my members of our club, including myself, have become advisors to the teams. And it's great to be able to spend that time with the youth, helping them, again, with research, with drafting, with practicing their speeches and stuff. But it's a great way for your club to basically become more involved with youth programs on a hands-on basis. Because what we usually recommend that the advisors and or Rotarians, even if you're not an advisor, if you're sponsoring a team, have those students come to your club's meeting a week or two before our conference in March and practice their speeches. I mean, it's great to have your hear, their positions, and then bring them back after the conference so they can tell you their enriching experience that they learned through the 2-day conference. So it's more touch points that we can have with Rotarians and the youth, not only enriches their lives and their future career paths, but also helps, keep in mind that, hey, maybe this Rotary stuff is pretty good. I might want to become a Rotaractor in college and or a future Rotarian.
Yeah. And networking is one of the things. So just to give you an idea, we have schools from all over. Up north, Carlsbad, Army, Navy, all the way from Valley Center, Ramona, Fallbrook. And then, of course, closer to us, you've got Academy of Our Lady of Peace, Torrey Pines High School. I think we had Bishop for a while, Madison, Claremont, and then down south, because you've got Coronado, you've got going east, we used to have Helix High, Chula Vista High, East Lake. So in downtown, my club is the Downtown Breakfast Rotary. So we've got Gompers from Club 33. Club 33 is trying to sponsor different teams as well. So we've got Monarch, Gompers, private academies.
Hilltop.
Sorry?
Hilltop.
Hilltop. Yeah, Hilltop High. Yep. Yeah. So we want the geographic spread. Morse, exactly. Right, yeah. Right. So as you go around geographically, wherever Rotary clubs are, we should have a school, right? So We've limited it to 40. We've allowed teams to sign up to 14 schools, up to 4 teams. That means 8 students. So the high performing schools, Academy of Our Lady of Peace, OLP, has always been high performing. They've got a strong Model UN club in their school. Gompers have stepped up. They've also got 4 teams. Madison High, 4 teams. So their teams are strong. Coronado, I think at the PU used to have 2 teams. But the kids, we spread them out, so we don't allow the schools to kind of gang up on everybody else. But it's kind of fun for the kids to see their colleagues. But we had to limit it to 4. If we had more participation, so we mentioned we had 23 different high schools from all over the district, but we had 42 teams. So some high schools more, some less. Most have 1 or 2. But if this really grows, like some years, if we have more participation from Rotary clubs, we will limit it to maybe 2 teams, but we can spread it out even further. So it's based on need.
We have in the past had over 50 teams when we had the capacity over at the Institute of Peace and Justice.
Yeah.
Pauline and Kevin, we're at the end of our time. That was very, very informative. Stay online with me. Luann and Eric, this recording will be up on the district website in about 10 minutes, okay?
Oh,
so you
awesome.
can refer the rest of your club to the recording.
Please email us and let us help you. Let us help you help the students. And we're happy to go do presentations. As you found out, we can talk all day about this.
Can I just ask one small question? You said about some of the Rotarians helping as advisors to some of these clubs. Is that something that we can do? The last thing I did with Model UN, I was a Model UN participant in high school, forever ago. But that I know some of our new schools are trying to hit the ground running, but can we offer our services to?
Exactly. You should.
We also provide training for the advisors at our training conference in January.
Yeah, you'd be perfect. So Isaac's been in Model UN. Gina is at the Chula Vista Rotary Club. She's a teacher and advisor and Model UN. She's on our planning committee. So you should join the planning committee. I think you mentioned it last year. Come see what we do. It ain't rocket science, but it is a commitment of time. And we would really want more Rotarians to participate. So I'm in downtown. Kevin is in Del Mar, Solana Beach. You're in Santee, Luann, Coronado. Bring your members in. We need more people on the leadership committee because you are setting the stage, and we're always looking for succession planning, right? This is Rotary. It's healthy when you have new blood and succession planning. So right. So we know what's going on because Kevin's been leading it for 10 years. Yeah. I took on the ball about 4 or 5 years ago. COVID hit. So we pivoted online. So it never ended. It was online during COVID years. And now we're back live. But this is an ongoing program for the last 20 years. And as Kevin pointed out, this is the 21st year. And this is our Rotary district. So Model UN website. Yeah, we have a website. So I think, Diane, when you posted, link to the website. And Klaus, Del Mar Rotary updates. So he's our webmaster. Yeah. We just got it updated. So it's excellent. And you'll see all the old resolutions there, all the topics we've addressed.
Thank you both so much. This is so informative, and I really appreciate it. Yeah. And hopefully we'll be able to do more with our club.
Yes, I look forward to meeting you in person too, Luann. Thank you.
I would love that. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Oh, Diane, you wanted us to hang on.
And just one moment.
1 moment? Okay.
All right, that went very well. Just so that you know, last week we did the mental health. There were only three people on. It's had 67 views so far. So the number of people, don't look at that. They're coming back to see what it's all about. So this is how we started. You guys were really good. You know your stuff, that's for sure. All right, so we're going to get this posted, and I'll let you know how many views you're getting.
You're amazing, Diane.
We're going to get them in there. We're going to fill up the Del Mar Hall.
You're fantastic. Kevin, have you seen Diane at your club? She's amazing.
No, she hasn't been there.
You haven't visited his club yet?
No, you're in Del Mar, Solana Beach, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I think that's I think it's the beginning of November.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna
Yes,
help
you
you
should.
guys
Just
push
into-
this. I've been trying to get everybody aware of what all these great programs. So let's see what happens.
You're amazing, Diane. Thank you
Have a
so
great
much for
week, you
leading
guys.
us.
Thank
You're
you so
You're a
much.
fearless leader. Thank
I'm
you.
gonna do it. Thank you.
Yeah, you